Learn from an attorney how bullies are often made, not born, and learn what you can do about it when faced with a bully. Kids, get your parents. They need to see this. Hi, I'm Stacey Storino, an attorney since 1998, certified life coach since 2015, and the leader in legal coaching that turns people into effective advocates for themselves and their loved ones when they're bullied, special needs, or both. Woman 101 stands for wisdom that turns victims into victors. Now, let's get down to how bullies are often made, not born, and what you can do about it when faced with a bully. Stay tuned until the end of the video so that you can learn about a method to stop bullies after all else fails. Yep, there is a method. One study shows that the school climate or school corporate culture, or aura, has more to do with why bullying occurs. In fact, more than the behavior of the victim himself or herself. The school's atmosphere here, for purposes of this discussion, includes the disciplinary system, its preventative policies or lack thereof, the architecture of the school building itself, and its resources, support services, and overall morale. Many times a school's climate is a reflection on the neighborhood itself, but not always. School control is at its worst when staff and its dominant students model bullying behavior, or bullying is ignored, or reinforced, or it is accepted as normal and even expected as inevitable. I've done a video discussing how schools and even the court systems see a certain degree of bullying as inevitable. You really should check it out. Now, parents, of course, play a role in terms of whether someone is likely to become a bully. Yes, there's nature, but yes, there's nurture too, if you know what I mean. According to an article by Susan M. Swearer Napolitano entitled Risk Factors for Outcomes of Bullying and Victimization, bullies typically come from families with low cohesion, little warmth, absent fathers, high power needs, permit aggressive behavior or physical abuse, poor family functioning, and authoritarian parenting. Bullies come from families with physical abuse, domestic violence, hostile mothers, powerless mothers, uninvolved parents, neglect, low warmth, inconsistent discipline, and negative environment. And both bullies and victims tend to come from families where parents fight and or use drugs and or abuse alcohol. The more physically violent parents are, of course, contributes to whether someone will be a bully or victim or both. In addition, many studies have found that when youth who bully others are consulted, they report family conflict and poor parental oversight or monitoring. Granted, these are trends and there are always exceptions to the rule, but maybe you get the picture of all the different factors that contribute to making a bully who and what they are. So, what can you do with this intel? First, understand that if you're someone who's being bullied, it's often less about you and more about them, the bullies themselves. You see, bullies aren't truly happy or confident people, even though they may do their best to convince others differently. They come from high stress, high abuse homes with a lot of stuff hidden away from the public knowledge. Plus, many times they go from a negative home environment to a school environment that's often just as bad as the one that they came from, or worse. Are we supposed to feel more sorry for the bullies as opposed to the victims? Of course not. If you or someone you love is being bullied, step one towards dealing with bullies is to realize that the bully is the one with the problem to begin with. It's not the victim's fault for the bully being such a raging jerk. Bullies take out their frustrations on innocent people, so victims should take heart and know that they're not to blame for being bullied. While special needs kids, children of color, and kids that are gay or perceived to be gay are often the most popular demographics to suffer from bullying, let's be honest. Many times, kids can be bullied for any reason, like having freckles, curly hair, glasses, or any number of other reasons. It's like a moving target sometimes. For every bully that's being groomed by their parents to the point where they're practically being weaponized against a certain demographic of society, there's also bullies who are engaging in bullying behavior simply to create an imbalanced relationship between themselves and their victims so that they can extract significance and power from the experience while simultaneously venting out their frustrations on their victims. Maybe it doesn't even matter who the victim is in that scenario. Bullies often will start out by bullying several kids simultaneously and will over time narrow down the field until they reach a shy, super sensitive kid who will just take their cruelty and give them little to no direct resistance in return. So, understanding that bullies are often damaged goods and that you or a victim you love is not to blame for the abuse that bullies rain down is step one. But step two is to learn how to report bullies so that their abuse sooner or later is stopped and a responsible adult enters into the picture to make it stop. And what happens if the school's teachers, faculty, staff, administrators, etc., do nothing no matter how many times bullying is reported? Tune into the ENEMY Remedy YouTube playlist on the Woman 101 channel to learn what, if anything, you can do to either hold the school responsible or at least use the school's records and witnesses as tools to shut bullies down in other ways. Gaining a support system that exists both on the school campus and off of it can help keep a bullied kid safer. And when all else fails, it's time to call in the cavalry, meaning having at least one adult who can serve as your advocate with the school system and, if need be, the police and the court system. You can't ignore bullying. It won't go away. Every study and survey shows that avoidance has no upside when it comes to bullying. And I've got a system called the ENEMY Remedy that can help you or the ones who love you out big time. So make sure you check out the link down below in this video show notes for more details. I would love to hear from you. Have you or a loved one ever dealt with a bully? And if so, do you have any idea what led them to being a bully in the first place? What's your best guess? Share down below and let's have all of the Woman 101 Wise Owls love up on you and give you support. And if you like this content, please remember to support me on Patreon so that I can keep providing new material on a regular basis to help victims of bullying everywhere. Remember, Woman 101 stands for wisdom turning victims into victors. Be sure to subscribe to this channel and like this video and share this with anyone you know who could use some support. Woman 101, be wise with your heart.